We're now being joined to look at the last elections in Edo State by the National Vice President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Isa Aremu. Well, good to have you join us this morning.
Well, good morning.
Well, how do we... Yes, well, you followed that election, even the proceedings leading up to that particular election. But again, we had to look at INEC's conduct of that particular election before we go into other areas. How would you rate the conduct of INEC on that day?
Well, I think maybe for now it's also important that we look at the bigger picture. I think the summary of it is that today Edo State is a democracy destination, in the country. And from the picture we've seen, it is clear that votes counted this weekend. On the whole, and I think we should give credit to all the actors who made this possible, namely the political parties, and of course their candidates, and above all the electorate who really, weather all the storm, both before and during the elections, to come and express their democratic aspirations.
What spectacular thing did the electorates do?
That takes a lot. First, before the election, there are a lot of rallies and campaigns. This is also rainy season, and as active participant in this process, I attended, we also had visible labor rallies, and proudly so, Nigeria Labour Congress and TUC. And for me, it was amazing. In spite of the rain, people came out, to listen to candidates. In this case, our preferred candidate who has won, which is Comrade Adams Shomole. That takes a lot of sacrifice, and that tells you the level of democratic aspirations and desire of Edo electorate to really make sure that they exercise their democratic rights. And that was before the. And if you also look at even the celebration that we had yesterday, in spite of the rain, and people also said during the election proper, I was in Auchi where I witnessed the voting pattern. Where, of course, where Comrade Adams actually voted. And you could see that people said, whether rain or not, people will come out to express their feelings. And for me, that is the spirit of democratic process. It's not one father or godfather or one it's the masses of people, and at the end of the day, everybody has one vote, as the case may be. And for me, those are the bigger pictures we must keep on celebrating. And for me, what has happened in Edo has also changed the Nigerian narrative. Of late, the narrative is all about the country breaking, that we are not united. The narrative is that we are divided along religious lines, and we could see that what we've witnessed in Edo shows that we're united for common cause to produce leaders that will govern us, regardless of our so-called differences. And you could see a bipartisan vote, across all the senatorial districts. For me, those are the pictures that I think we need to celebrate, because this shows that the story coming from Nigeria of late is a departure from the story of despair and hopelessness.
Because
and talking about INEC, I think we can't deny that INEC is also part of this bigger picture of success. Of course, there are a lot of areas for improvement. And I think you need to look at the value chain of INEC activities. Namely voters registration, conduct of election proper, delivery of election materials, and even announcement of results. So the choice is here for you to make an assessment which area INEC has. For me, for the election result, it's complete departure from what we had in 2007. Fantastic prompt. They were very eloquent, and they did so decisively to declare the winners. As the case may be. Of course, you can also say that that's also due to a lot of pressures in terms of vigilance of the voters to say, no, we can't return back to the old era. And I think one or two people have made comments about the alarm raised by Comrade Governor. You also know that it was also during period of pressures for elections. But above all, I think it must also be guided by the role of INEC in the previous election. There were judicial pronouncements in this country that serially indicted INEC as being partisan as part of the whole process of rigging of election machine. So you don't want to take a chance, as the case may be. So what I'm saying here is summary. I think we should also give credit to INEC to the extent that some of the aspects of these activities, it live up to expectation, although there are areas of improvement. I mean, why do you have late deliveries of materials, has been well said? Why do you have to, at this age, hire boats, to carry materials, which also led to disaster, and I think simple things like punctuality, this is only one election. There's no excuse. I thought people should be waiting for INEC, not the other way around. I think it's generally malice of public bureaucracy service delivery, and this which can be improved upon. But the point I'm raising here is that for me, I would like to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture today is that, for once in recent time, we've counted votes at the polling booths, and nobody's going to wait for long, put the burden on judiciary, as the case may be.
Yeah,
and the PDP National had also acknowledged this, that this election is okay.
So for you, there is more to cheer than to complain about. But looking at it, looking at the conduct so far, what would you say? Were you apprehensive about the role of security agencies?
I'm not. I don't think I'm really apprehensive. For me, coming from my background, I think the key foot soldiers in the democratic process are the people themselves. And for me, those who really secure their votes, and the final analysis are the voters. First, you keep your voter's card. You wake up on time to go and exercise your democratic right. You stay by the polling booth to make your election counts. Security men, as good as they are, cannot secure what the voters are not prepared to make sure they want to secure. So to that extent, I think we should give more credit to the electorate, and I keep on repeating that. But also, I think all the security agencies have also tried, all of them, including the police, and of course the army. I saw the army, and I think some soldiers, in some strategic location of Edo. But I also want to emphasize, and this is why I have a different opinion from my colleague, and of course a member of a party in which I also am a stakeholder, Danwaya. I think we should learn to demilitarize our political process, and I think as good as the soldiers were, I don't think we should see it as a sign of strength. In fact, it's a sign of weaknesses, and the weakness is that first the idea of armed gangs, who come around to terrorize voters, who pretend to be party leaders when actually they're bloody thugs. That's the reason why we have to bring armed soldiers to respond to them. I think our vision should be to put an end to violence in our politics in a way that soldiers are not there to go and monitor electoral process. We've come a long way. Please, I've always emphasized this point. It's true that we now have, I don't know the last 13 or 14 years of uninterrupted democratic process. But our democratic heritage has been long dated than that. We started, we won independence on democratic platform. It was Democrat that got independence for Nigeria. We've been in the democratic process for long. First Republic, as well as short, was democratic. Second Republic was democratic. And elections, we're being held without necessarily bringing soldiers. So what I'm saying is, I think we need to encourage the police more. Civil organizations, and don't forget that we also came from military rule. We shouldn't give an impression that we're incompetent to count votes, but of course I know the extraordinary situation demands some extra ordinary measure, but that should be an exception. It cannot be the rule.